feed you, give you something to drink. They're supposed to do all of that for you. So would you not be a little hesitant to tell them if they were mistreating you any type of way, but you know that they are your only hope. Like, they feed you, they have all your basic needs. You don't want to mess that up by telling and say like it doesn't even, because most cases don't even go through. They may say it, you know, but no one really will take the time to go in and be like, oh yeah, we'll just see, you know, they'll lay low for a little bit, but then it may continue happening, and then that jeopardizes the patient, because, you know, like, that's a whole nother situation, and it gets worse. It gets worse until it becomes death, basically, and nobody wants that. So the NCEA recommends you to call 911, even if it's better safe than sorry. So even if you suspect something and it's not even what it is to be, you should still tell if you have any problems or anything. It's better than just to, you know, it's better safe than to be sorry, basically. That's the whole thing. So just call 911 if you witness it, please do something about it, because if you were in that same position, and wouldn't you want someone to save you or help you if you know that they could, like. So some more signs of sexual abuse: bruising around the genital area, bruising around the breast, or rectal and anal bleeding. It's obvious. Physical signs obviously would be bruises, burns, cuts, any type of like some unfamiliar mark on you that would normally be there, and broken bones for definitely. Another thing that I don't think people fail to know is, if you're a caseworker and a care worker, and you have a patient, anything that happens to that patient while you're on the clock, you're responsible for it. So if that patient falls out of the bed, hits his head too hard and dies, you're going to jail because you're responsible for that. There's been cases where women, they'll step out and their patients will walk out of the building and literally cross the street, and it's been some cases where they've been hit by cars, and that person is held responsible because they're not doing their job. They're not attentive and on it as they should be. So that's another thing. Also, I want to talk more about the preventions. Inadequate training is another. Sorry. As patients age, they need to get their medical and mental conditions treated well. So if someone is inexperienced and they don't know what they're doing, like, that's not going to help, because it's still going to reflect bad on them if that patient dies or suffers and they don't know anything what to do. Like, they need to be trained specifically for that person. That caseworker needs to talk to that patient's family, and they need to get all of the information that there possibly is to know what they are allergic to. Like, they need to know everything. They need to have a list what needs to be done. So in situations like that, it can be handled versus resulting in something bad. You already did the background check. Lack of time and resources went over. That's basically the lack of available staff and positions. Like, they've been working long shifts, they get tired. Of course, you get cranky, you're mad. When you're tired, you don't want to be bothered with, but at the same time, you have responsibilities and duties that needs to be handled, which are these victims. You can't just leave them around just because you're tired and you want to take a nap. Like, but due to that, being that they're overly tired and they're overworking themselves, they're becoming cranky. So if something happens and the patient complains or something, I guess that would trigger them to hit them, or whatever happens, just happens. So the stress builds and they end up taking it out on their patients. So I wanted to share Verbal abuse is actually the hardest to spot, and I'm going to tell you why. Verbal abuse is the hardest to spot because, like I said, the patients are afraid to speak up, being that their fear of being neglected. So they're not really going to speak up and say what they have to say because they're afraid of what may happen or may not happen. Like, they may not be fed. Excuse me. The abuse may become 10 times worse, or just whatever. Like, that's not. Sorry, they're not like. Just just really take your time and just think about this. Like, if you were in a position, or if somebody did this to your family members and they were beaten up, bruised, cut, anything, like, you wouldn't want that. You really wouldn't. And I'm trying to tell you, that's not something that you would allow. Whether, like, you wouldn't even wish this on your worst enemy. Like, I don't think that's something that anybody wants to go through, experience. Like, that's not something that should happen. Like, I feel like these these geriatric homes and nursing homes, they need to have they need to tighten up, because I feel like this is not something that needs to continue any longer. And I feel like it's my responsibility, like my duty, to keep going until like this is solved. Like, this has to be, like, we have to do better. Like, I feel like it's one thing just to say something, and this is how I started at the beginning of this project. I was just like, oh yeah, this is bad, I want to do something about it. And the more I've obtained more information and dug deeper into my research, I realized, yeah, like, saying something is one thing and actually doing something, like, your actions go harder, way harder than what you say. So this is like something that I would like to spread awareness about and crack down on elder abuse. So thank you.